So this is something else that caught me and many other people by surprise, and this was the last thing I was expecting to hear about or see online. But apparently, we might be getting a crossover with Sega and DC sometime in the future, and the details about it are scarce at the moment. Um, the only thing I know is that there is a DC Sonic partnership, teaser trailer on YouTube right now, and it appeared 2 days ago. And apparently, um, it basically has like Shadow the Hedgehog dressed up like Batman, so it kind of like implies that he might be like a vigilante in an upcoming anime or video game or what have you. And that's another thing. I mean, this was never it was never made clear whether or not like this upcoming project that Sega and DC is working on is going to be an anime or a video game, and who's going to produce it. And the thing is, I feel like this concept is rather interesting, but at the same time, it's a bit strange and far fetched. It was kind of like that time, Sega decided to give Shadow the Hedgehog a gun, during like back when his game came out back in 2005 for the PlayStation 2. It was a concept that was cool at the time, but looking back at it now, it's kind of just like whatever. But but yeah, it seems like the Sonic franchise has been on a roll as of late. It's been getting a lot of mainstream attention, especially with the upcoming Sonic, Shadow Generations game that's supposed to be coming out this upcoming month on October 25th. And then we're supposed to be getting another game along with that particular game that's bundled with the Sonic and Shadow Generations. It's called Shadow Generations, and it focuses exclusively on Shadow the Hedgehog. And I feel like, this is a time period where Sega's trying to put the spotlight back on Shadow because obviously they've been relying on Sonic for way too long. And Sega knows that with Sonic Frontiers, which came out this past year in 2023, that game was actually a commercial success. And even though like that particular game has like, mixed reviews and people are polarized about it, Sonic Frontiers is actually one of the few decent 3D Sonic games that Sega has produced in quite some time. And obviously, they're trying to follow that momentum by remaking a classic, but then, adding Shadow to it, and then remaking, the Shadow game from 2005, and all that stuff. I do feel like that's the right move to make, especially considering the fact that we're supposed to be getting a Sonic the Hedgehog 3 movie before the end of the year. And it seemed like Sega has been pulling out all the stops in relation to Sonic in general, and that's something that they need to do. And they need to focus on building more characters for the most part, because I feel like what Sega's doing with Shadow right now, it should have been done years ago. And I feel like Shadow, for the most part, his name value kind of plummeted over the years because of, I guess, he wasn't used right in other games, and I guess the Shadow the Hedgehog game from 2005 wasn't as successful as a lot of people thought it would be. And yeah, I mean, Shadow has kind of been, a forgotten name over time, and it's cool knowing that Sega's doing something with him and that he is going to be involved with DC in some way. But I have no idea, like, what they're gonna, do with Shadow in this upcoming project, how he's going to be used, and what other, Sonic or DC characters will be included in this. It's something that I find interesting to say the very least. And hopefully, before the end of the year, we'll have more details about this crossover between Sega and DC.